The following is a special doubleheader presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 18th day of January 2024. And we got a doubleheader for you. We do these from time to time when we have some matchups that might appeal to you on top of our regular scheduled programming. And today we have one of those things. We start in San Francisco, where the coldest winter Mark Twain ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. By the way, the wind chill here in Burlington today is haze. For the red-hot Cincinnati Reds and the San Francisco Giants. The Reds are 6-1. The Giants are 5-3. More about that over the next hour or so. And if this game does not run more than an hour and 15 minutes, the second half of our doubleheader would be our regularly scheduled Wednesday night baseball game between the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays. Both teams expect to figure very deep into a melee for the AL East crown. But first, the Reds are off to a hot start. They're 6-1. The Giants were 5-1. The Reds have taken the first two of this midweek series between these two teams. They're 11-4 combined. The Giants are the last of the 87 playoff teams, 1987 playoff teams to make the channel. The Reds get hot now. You never know. If there is a division where outside the American League East where we might have a different winner, it might be this one. Remember, the Giants won the West in 87 and won the National League in 89. So it's not like San Francisco is a bad team. And you never know with Pete Rose's Cincinnati Reds. Every year he was there, they finished in second place. I expect the Dodgers to win because the other three divisions outside the East, American League East, were pretty much decided early. But you just never know, and that's why we play the games. So 2 hours of baseball for you next. The Reds and Giants kick us off next. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988, a doubleheader starting first from Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California, as the San Francisco Giants host the Cincinnati Reds. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And so, Tom Browning making his second start of the year. He's 1-0. Mike Lacoste on a cold, windy day in San Francisco did not get a decision in his first start. It might rain before we're done. Mike Lacoste. And now I can go to the chat. Big Dave. Oh, I appreciate that. Hope you are well. Lacoste would only make 19 starts for the Giants. Maybe one of the reasons why they didn't quite get, in fact, he's out on July 16th. Why the Giants fell short of a three-peat in 88. 7-7 in real life. He's made one start. And that was against San Diego. A 5-4 loss 5 days ago. 104 pitches, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He's 32. One of the older men on the team, fastball 88 and a ground ball pitcher. And this will be the lineup he'll face. My goodness, it's the Vermont Reds. It really is. So many of these people played here in Burlington, including the Hall of Famer Barry Larkin, who will lead off at short. Jeff Treadway, a name that I remember from up here when they were the Vermont Reds, will bat second and play second. Cal Daniels. How many of you burnt your retirement fund buying Cal Daniels cards? He's in left, he'll go third. Eric Davis cleans up in center. Paul O'Neill at first? Nick Kasaski isn't in Boston yet, so O'Neill gets the call at first. He'll bat fifth. Tracy Jones in right will bat sixth. The veteran Buddy Bell at third will bat seventh. Bo Diaz behind the plate goes eighth. And Tom Perfect Game in 88 Browning will bat ninth. Mike Lacoste, 105 pitches. That should get you 7 if all goes well. And here's a San Francisco defense. Jeffrey Leonard, a 2 and a 1 in left. That's bad. Brett Butler is an 8 range, but only a 2 arm. That's not good either. You got ramen noodles in left and center. Candy Maldonado is a 3 and a 5 and right. And if someone with goat shows up, he's got a Candy Maldonado voodoo doll at right field. Kevin Mitchell is a 5 at third. Jose Uribe at 8 at short. Robbie Thompson is 7 at second, not related to the manager of the Phillies, or the old one. And Will the Thrill Clark is 7 at first. Bob Melvin is 6 and a 4 behind the plate. Lacoste is a 6 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. As we said, it is cold in San Francisco, and the wind is blowing out to the bay in left field at 21, 58 degrees. Larkin sitting on a 6-game hitting streak to start, hitting .379, 2 homers, and 4 RBI. And the doubleheader starts with a bunt. Melvin throws it to Thompson, covering, 1 away. Interesting decision there. Here's Jeff Treadway, .273, a home run, and 5 RBI. So these are the games of Wednesday, April 13th, 1988. And there's a line drive to right. Maldonado will... Do I dive with 1 out? No, let's see. Yeah, I'll dive. And he makes a great play. So, not sure how good his footing is out there. He's played 7 games, but he got there, and there's 2 out for Cal Daniels. Daniels making your retirement baseball card fund look really good. 346, 4 homers, and 10 RBI. You must remember those future stars and the tops. We'll talk about that quite a bit. Pitch to Cal. Got him. So Lacoste gets through the first clean. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Half an inning in the books, no score. So Tom Browning, who again will have a perfect game in 1988. I forgot who it was. I remember it was in Cincinnati. He's 28, an extreme fly ball pitcher, which is why those cookie cutters work so well for him. Fastball at 85. He'll start 36 times for Pete Rose, and the Reds, his first start was against the Astros 5 days ago. He went 7 2/3 in a 6-0 shutout, so he didn't get credit for the shutout. 2 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And so here's a lineup the Giants will put out there. Brett Butler will lead off in center field. Over from the Braves. And I think he will go from there to the Indians, or was that the other way around? Kevin Mitchell is at third. He'll bat second. Will Clark will bat third at first base. Candy Maldonado cleans up in right field for Roger Craig. Jeffrey Leonard will bat fifth and play left field. It looks like he got hurt. He had a magnificent 87. Bob Melvin behind the plate bats sixth. Robbie Thompson at second will go seventh. Jose Uribe batting eighth at short. Mike Lacoste on the mound will bat ninth. And Browning should go about 7 innings as well. Defensively for the Reds, Cal Daniels a 4 and a 6 and left. Eric Davis a 10 and a 2. Interesting. In center, Tracy Jones is a 7 and 3 in right. Buddy Bell, despite being 37, is a 6 at third. Barry Larkin a 7 at short. Jeff Treadway a 6 at second. Paul O'Neill is at first. He's a 3. Bo Diaz behind the plate a 7 and a 6, and Browning is a 7 on the mound with a .927 fielding percentage. Butler off to a flying start for San Francisco. 438, a home run, and 9 RBI. And Butler starts the game, a ground ball. Browning right side of the mound, over to O'Neill. 1 out. For Kevin Mitchell, 242, 2 homers, and 5 RBI. Most of you will remember Kevin Mitchell for making that catch barehanded in left field for San Francisco sometime on either this 89 or 90. And imagine my surprise when I started to play Strat, because that was one of the greatest catches ever, a barehanded catch out in left field. To see that Strat rated him a 4 in left field. And it just goes to show that, all things considered, I'd rather be lucky than good. Pitch to Mitchell. is a fly ball left field. Daniels going back there, and Cal will make the catch 2 away. For Will Clark, Will at 323, 2 homers and 3 RBI. Browning winds and deals. Struck him out, so Tom gets a strikeout, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the second, no score. So Eric Davis, Paul O'Neill, and Tracy Jones to face Lacoste here in the second. Eric, 345, a triple and 5 RBI. And he will steal 35 in real life. Injuries kind of did him in, huh? There's a ground ball left side, base hit. Leonard will throw it back in, and that's the first hit of the ballgame. And Davis is almost a sure thing to steal second. Paul O'Neill off to a slow start. 150, no homers, and 2 RBI. Lacoste throws over to Clark, and Davis is kind of back, but he's not deterred. They pitch out. Bob Melvin throws down to Uribe. There goes Davis, and Eric's gone. How about that? 94 is not 100. So 1 out and a 1-ball count to Paul O'Neill. Fly ball, right field, Maldonado. 2 out. For Tracy Jones, Tracy 2 for 8. Part-time player for Pete Rose's Reds. Real life, 229, a homer, 9 RBI. Lacoste steals. Into right, Maldonado, second verse. Same as the first, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, and Eric Davis thrown out trying to steal second after an inning and a half. It's San Francisco nothing, Cincinnati nothing. So Maldonado, Leonard, and Melvin to face Browning here in the second. Candy, you gotta love April numbers, right? 414, 2 homers, and 9 RBI. The time of year where everyone can kind of put up softball numbers. Pitch to Candy. There's a base hit in the right center, and Jones will cut it off. Yankees and Blue Jays to follow at approximately 12:30 Eastern. Jeffrey Leonard, 1 for 3 on the year. 256 limited playing time, only 160 at-bats, 2 homers, and 20 RBI. And Browning throws to first, and I wasn't even thinking about it for Maldonado, and Candy not going anywhere. Struck him out. That's 2 for Browning. Full count fastball got him looking. So 1 out for Bob Melvin. 364, a home run, and 4 RBI. Browning deals, and there's a fly ball to center. Eric Davis goes back, makes the catch, and Candy goes back to first. Dave, how cold is it in Rochester today? Robbie Thompson at 269 already has 3 doubles and 2 RBI. Not a power hitter. Really a dirt dog type second baseman. Mark reminds me of Mark Lemke and Dustin Pedroia and Ryan Sandberg to a degree. There's a fly ball left field. Daniels is there, and Cal will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit. Giants leave on a runner, and after 2, there's no score. 25 today in Rochester. We got 22. Was 10 yesterday in Kodak City. I think we're looking at 13 here in town tomorrow. It's going to be the coldest it's been all winter. I didn't go out. Don't go out when the wind chill is below 10. It's just too cold. Oh, Big Dave's mom is in West Seneca and is obviously in the belt for Lake Erie or Ontario. Which one? It has over 5 feet of snow. My goodness. That's not fun. Buddy Bell, 1 for 9. He'd hit 185 and 3 RBI. Lacoste starts the third. Ground ball to Mitchell. Kevin throws to Will. And Clark remains on the bag, 1 out. Bo Diaz, 2 for 23. Not the start that he would want, nor the Reds. Hit 219 in real life with 10 homers. Lake Erie, just north. So she's north of Orchard Park. Yeah. Now, I'm sure I've said this before. My dad grew up in Fredonia, which Dunkirk and Silver Creek, right on the shores of Lake Erie. And it was always nuts because there'd be a hard cutoff of that lake effect. They didn't really get it there. You'd hear about a foot or two in the Metro Buffalo area, and they'd look out the window and have maybe a couple inches. Pitch to Diaz. Ground ball right side. Maldonado will pick it up. Man, that's a much-needed hit for Bo. So that brings up Tom Browning with one out. Tom struck out both times. Hawks LTC. You get to watch me live. I'm on for 2 hours today. Well, glad to have you along. I always kind of wonder when I see the first time chat if someone wants me to buy some followers, but thank you very much. So we're going to bunt, or we're going to play in for the bunt. So Mitchell and Clark come in to play the corners. It is crazy how that snow belt works. Pitch to Browning. He pops it up. Clark almost on the mound. Lacoste gives way, and that's an out. So 2 away for Larkin. Opening 9 for Lacoste. 32 pitches. 2 2/3. 2 hits and a strikeout. And Barry is 0 for 1. Larkin last year was the primary color guy on Reds television. Wonder how he did. Barry swings. That's in the left field. Leonard will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, and no errors. Okay, I won't mention your name, but I now know who you are. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Dave, been too warm to get the ice boom to prevent all the snow. Yeah. And, of course, those lakes are just too big to completely freeze over. Erie in Ontario. It'll be Uribe, Lacoste, and Butler here in the bottom of the third. Jose at 276, a good start. No homers and 9 RBI. Browning starts the third with a fly ball left center field. Davis, 1 out. And Lacoste is going to have to swing here. 0 for 1 on the year. 242, no homers, and 2 RBI. Brian, what do you like to play? Either way, he says, I'm just one of the new kids on the sports gaming block. Okay, Jenny. There's a slow ground ball, third base side. Bell lets it roll foul, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Browning, by the way, in 250 2/3 real innings, went 18-5 and struck out 124. And now he got Lacoste for his third. Diaz dropped strike 3 on that slow fastball, but he tagged Lacoste, and there's 2 out. So opening 9 for Tom, 35 pitches, 2 2/3, a hit, and 3 strikeouts. Butler is 0 for 1. Flies this one in the left center. Back goes Davis, but Eric has good range and good speed and makes the catch. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We've played 3 at the stick. It's no score. So Treadway, Daniels, and Eric Davis to face Lacoste here in the 4th. Jeff is 0 for 1. Lacoste starts the frame. Fly ball to right. Maldonado will make the catch down in the corner. Another great play for Candy. So he's made 2 today. That 3 range is below average, and his arm is fine. It's a 5, but so Candy, not known for his Gold Glove defense, has made 2 catches, and somewhere Scotty and Tommy Lasorda aren't very happy about that. Cal Daniels struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Got him again. Lacoste struck out 70 and 114 in a third real life. He's with 2 so far. So 1-2 curve at the belt. Got him looking. So Davis with the single, and Eric was thrown out trying to steal. And Lacoste got him, and that's the inning. A 2-2 fastball on the inside corner. And so that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Through 3.5 in the opening of our doubleheader, it's the Reds and Giants scoreless in San Francisco. Brian says, started with Strat as a 10-year-old in 78. You got a couple years on me. Fast forward 30 years or so, got back into the things a couple years ago, and you found baseball and golf from play. Well, good for you. Gardner loves History Maker Golf. Here are the standings as we start the second Wednesday of the season. The Pirates and the Phils are tied for first in the National League East. Cardinals and Mets a half a game back. Cubs looking for a long season. In the West, the Reds up by a game and a half. The Dodgers have started to win a bit. So the Giants in second, Atlanta, San Diego, and Houston at the end. The Yankees lead Cleveland by a half a game in the American League East. I don't expect Baltimore to continue to be within there. Again, Yankees and Blue Jays are the second half of the doubleheader. Oakland and Kansas City tied for first in the West. California, Texas, and Chicago. Minnesota, we had their first one for you yesterday. So it'll be Mitchell, Clark, and Maldonado to face Tom Browning. Kevin's 0 for 1. Popped up right side, Treadway, 1 out. It is 60 degrees now here, and the wind blowing out to the bay, and left center at 21. Skies are cloudy. People are scarfing their garlic fries and coffees. Here's Will Clark. He struck out his first time up. Been messing recently just for fun with posting some videos with their basketball game. And at this point, it's still the highlight maker hoops, right? The full play game is not out yet. Pitch to Clark. Fly ball, right field. Tracy Jones. That took and foul. So somebody from San Bernardino made that catch. It's a long trip. Right center field, Jones running in the alley, and Tracy will cut it off to make the catch. 2 out. So here's Candy Maldonado. Candy singled. The lone hit for the Giants in the ballgame. And he's got both the hits now for the Giants as that drops in front of Eric Davis. So the second hit, you might be interested if you like the faster play games of those, to try out Marco Walters' regular season basketball. Very much an assemble the puzzle type game. Dave got it for me for Christmas, and I really need to do a video on it. But it will be just as simple as giving you the score or breaking all the stats down on a 3-minute basis. You get a really good ebb and flow. It really does feel like you're watching a game on television. Jeffrey Leonard, by the way, struck out his first time up. And he balks. Well, we can't have a stream this year without a balk. Rose gets on the top step and says something, and I said everyone balks. There's no truth to the rumor that Oprah Winfrey will be the home plate umpire for the game in Toronto later on. A 1-1 count to Leonard. Jeffrey pops it up, left side. Larkin in on the out on the grass. And that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 5th and a scoreless tie. So O'Neill, Jones, and Bell to face Lacoste here in the 5th. Now, when I wrote for Fansided, and we would live tweet Washington National games, if you said that there was no score, there were people pedantic enough to give me a hard time, because once a game starts, it has a score. So what is it? So what is the correct terminology? Should I be saying no score? Is it scoreless? Inquiring board minds want to know. O'Neill is 0 for 1. Struck him out. That's 4 for Lacoste. An 0-2 curve. Got him looking. Here's Tracy Jones. Tracy's 0 for 1. Ground ball to first. Clark to the bag for the out. So 2 away for Buddy Bell, who's 0 for 1. Ground ball to third. Mitchell has it. Kevin throws across for the out. And that will retire the side. Halfway home. We're going to have a long, long summary in a moment. It's cold. It's 22 in Burlington. I'm going to drink some iced coffee, and we'll be right back. Well, if you joined us late, there's the recap for you. Take your time. Read it yourself. Digest it all in. Both teams have 2 hits in a well-pitched ball game. Tom Browning, a 2-hitter through 4 with 3 strikeouts, and Lacoste, a 2-hitter through 5 with 4 strikeouts. That's pretty much it. So Melvin Thompson and Uribe here in the bottom of the 5th. 20 degrees and some more snow on the way in north central Illinois, Brian says. Yeah, for some sports, he goes on, just has to be tough to make a full play game that doesn't take an hour or 2 to finish. It's a nice thing about PC games. And for a full play basketball game, I just love Strat basketball, is that when you get tired, it saves. And you move on. But I feel that way about football games. I have a tough time taking more than a half hour to do that. Melvin's 0 for 1 as we start the 5th. Ground ball over the mound. Larkin snares it. Throws to O'Neill for the out. 1 away. So here's Robbie Thompson. Robbie's 0 for 1. Ground ball left side. Daniels will throw it in. Here's Uribe. Jose's 0 for 1. Could hit and run here. Thompson has a good chance to steal. 3 hits for the Giants, 2 hits for the Reds. Brian, are you a Cubs, Cardinal, or Chi Sox fan? Ground ball right side, and Uribe's going to be on with a single. Thompson will take a long turn around second and will hold up. Don't make it out there. Lacoste is going to bunt. O'Neill and Bell play for it. Diaz reminds Browning to just throw something soft. Tom obliges. Lacoste squares. Browning has it. Charges up the mound. They're going to get Thompson at third. Are they going to get 2 out of this? Larkin throws to Treadway. Is Lacoste retired? No. Oh, but that was close. So 1-6 on the out at third. It is not a sacrifice. And Larkin with a good arm. That's new this year, too. I've never seen that. Nearly turned the double play. So 2 out for Brett Butler, who is 0 for 2. Browning has thrown 71 pitches through 18 batters. 4 2/3, 4 hits and 3 strikeouts. No runs. And there won't be any because that's a line drive to Larkin, and that's the inning. So no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And we go to the 6th, no score. So Diaz, Browning, and Larkin to face Lacoste. Bo singled. One of the 2 hits the Reds have. And there's a fly ball in the left field that will drop in front of Leonard. Only the 3rd hit for the Reds. Browning, they're going to play for the bunt. Clark and Mitchell come in. Nobody out here in the 6th in a 0-0 ball game. Browning squares. Melvin has it, and good sacrifice as he throws to Thompson at first. 1 out. Bo goes to second. Lacoste, 64 through 18 batters, 5 1/3, 3 hits and 4 strikeouts. Larkin is 0 for 2. Brian grew up a Cubs fan. 84 big, your very first baseball disappointment. I'm sorry. But with the way the TV stuff is nowadays, hardly ever watch. Yeah, that's how I follow most sports. You read and look, but I very rarely watch. Larkin popped up. Mitchell into foul territory, reaching over. And somebody from San Jose made that catch. Count is 0-2. And that's a base hit in the left field. Well, they send Diaz. Leonard does not have a good arm. Diaz is not fleet of foot. They wave him home. The throw to the plate is not in time. And Larkin is actually going to go to second. The throw was up the line. So the Reds take a 1-0 lead here with 1 out in the 6th. For Jeff Treadway, who's 0 for 2. And Melvin goes out to settle down Lacoste. Gets away from Melvin, and Larkin stays put. 1-2 the count. Brian says, I'm fortunate to have a couple minor league teams within an hour drive to go watch live. That's always fun. And for less than a couple of paychecks. Yeah. So 1-2 the count to Jeff Treadway, who laces this one up the middle for a base hit. Larkin's not going to stop. Butler does not have a great arm. And they're going to try to throw him out the plate. That's not going to be close. And Barry scores, and it's 2-0 Cincinnati. So the Reds' excellent start to this 88 replay continues. Mike from the truck, how are you? Cal Daniels has struck out twice. Fly ball, left field. Leonard will make the catch, and Treadway goes back to first. 2 away for Eric Davis, who has singled, been thrown out trying to steal, and struck out. Ground ball to Robbie Thompson at second. Goes to Uribe for the sure out there, and that'll do it. But the Reds get 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. And after 5.5 at Candlestick, it's 2-0 Cincinnati. So Mitchell, Clark, and Maldonado to face Browning here in the 6th. And if you're just joining us, normally at noon, doubleheader day here. Reds and Giants here in the 6th. The Yankees and Blue Jays to follow. From Toronto, Mitchell with a ground ball left side base hit. So both teams have 5 hits. And now here's Will Clark. He's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. In the left center. Back goes Davis. Away back there. We are tied. His 3rd of the year. Will Clark makes it a 2-2 ball game. You couldn't buy a run for the first 5 innings. And now Clark puts the tying run on the board again here in the 6th. Davis just kind of ran out of real estate. The wind is going in that direction of 21 anyway, so Clark caught the jet stream. Brings up Maldonado. Candy has singled twice. So the Giants have a pair on the board here in the 6th. They have 6 hits. They have 7 hits as Maldonado punches that one in the right center field for a single. Is he going to go for 2? Jones late, throwing it back. Nope. Candy stays put. Said in the open that I think if there is one division outside the American League East where you pretty much have 6 teams in a crapshoot, where things might not go to plan as far as who makes the playoffs, I think it might be this one. I can eat my words when we get to Memorial Day in this replay. Leonard is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Maldonado on first. Ground ball to third. Bell, is he going to try for 2? Nope, trying to get the runner at first. Late throw to O'Neill, and Leonard is out. O'Neill kept a foot on the bag and got the tag down at the same time. How about that? So 1 out, and Maldonado on second. For Bob Melvin, who's 0 for 2. Right up the middle of the treadway, over to O'Neill for the out. So Candy goes to third. Speaking of minor leaguers, in the 80s, the Reds Double-A team was here in town in Burlington. And so I'll tell you that Cal Daniels, Eric Davis, Tracy Jones, Barry Larkin, Jeff Treadway, Paul O'Neill, and I think maybe even Tom Browning all played here in Burlington. Robbie Thompson is 1 for 2 with a single. 2-2 the score. 2 outs here in the 6th. Maldonado on third, and Thompson strikes out. So 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. And we go to the 7th in the first of our doubleheader. It's the Reds and Giants tied at 2. So O'Neill is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And a ground ball to Clark. Will underhands it to Lacoste for the out. So 1 away for Tracy Jones, who is 0 for 2. And Dave Collins is going to pinch hit. So in the 7th, Rose goes to his bench. Collins, an old vet, is 2 for 8 on the year and does have a pinch hit. 1 for 3. Or 2 for 6. Don't know. He walks in any event, and the go-ahead run is on with 1 out here in the 7th for Buddy Bell, who is 0 for 2. I wonder if Rose will make another call here. Collins, a decent threat to steal, on first. And now really is a decent throw, or chance to steal, because he has a bigger lead. Bell stays in the game. The throw down to Thompson, and Collins has it stolen. So that's Dave's first steal of the year. So the go-ahead run in scoring position. Lacoste, not quite at the end of his day. A 1-strike count to Buddy Bell. Gets away from Melvin, and Collins moves up 90. So a wild pitch. I think you got a pitch to go after Bell. It's a 1-1 count. Pitch to Buddy. He grounds out to third, and Kevin Mitchell can't make a play. Collins is going to score. Is that an error? It is an error. Remember, Mitchell not a great third baseman. So the run is unearned. And the Reds pull ahead 3-2. That would have been a tough play for Mitchell to make anyway, even if he could get it out of his glove. Here's Bo Diaz. Bo has singled twice and scored. 3-2 now. Reds in the 7th. Left center field. Leonard running over. Will make the catch on the track, and Buddy Bell goes back to first. So 2 out. Let's see what the Reds do with Browning here. Tom is 0 for 1. Trying to get a win here. Stays in the game and strikes out. Stretch time 3-2 Cincinnati. So the Reds got a run, didn't get a hit. They got error. And Browning, looking for win number 2 on the year, has a 3-2 lead as we start the bottom of the 7th. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Reds. They have left on 3. 2 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Giants, and they have left on 5. Uribe is 1 for 2. Ground ball right side. And shutdown innings, there's not something that we deal with very well around here. So Lacosse's day is done. Who can hit a lefty? And we go the reverse split. And bring in Mike Aldretti. Happy affiliate anniversary. Yeah, thank you, Jamie. As a pinch hitter, he hasn't had one. Overall, 3 for 32, a homer and 2 RBI. So Uribe on first. I think I've been doing this on Twitch for 4 years. Kind of scary how long I've been doing this. Throw to first. They weren't holding Uribe on, and he's back. I wasn't going to steal him. So lefty, reverse lefty hitter here. Browning's pitch. Aldretti into right field. Collins, the new right fielder. He's a 6 and an 8 and will make the catch. So the computer went with a defensive change. And that'll do it for Tom Browning as Jose Rio coming in. Got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Candlestick Park. So Rio, in the pen at this point of the year, is 2-0. Jose is 23, throws a hard fastball at 96. And since we're in California, he's a standard Chevron pitcher, doesn't favor the fly ball nor the ground ball. In 2 games against the Astros, he got the win of them both. He pitched on the 10th, 2 innings, 28 pitches. 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. So overall for Jose, who won 13 for the Reds in 88. 3 2/3, 4 hits and 4 strikeouts. So Uribe on first. Rio is a tough customer. 162 innings in real life and 120 hits. Brett Butler is 0 for 3. 4th time through for the Giants. 1 out here, bottom of the 7th. Butler, ground ball to O'Neill. Paulie throws to Larkin for 1. And Butler is going to reach as there is no throw. So 2 out for Kevin Mitchell, who was 1 for 3 with a run scored. Throw to first. Butler back. Now he's going to go. Pitch to Mitchell. Throws down to Diaz to Treadway. And Butler is out trying to steal. They got him. Goodness gracious. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the 8th. It's the Reds 3, the Giants 2. Well, we're not going to bring in the closer. Gerelton Lefferts. Don Robinson gets the call. And chances are this will be his game to finish. Don is 31. Fastball at 88. Standard pitcher. Went on the 10th in an 8-4 win over the Padres. 9 pitches and a walk to get that one inning. It'll be Larkin, Treadway, and Daniels to face him. Reds 3, Giants 2 as we start the 8th. Barry 1 for 3. An RBI, run scored, and a single. Robinson starts his day. Ground ball right back to the mound. Throws to first. 1 out. It has not rained here. It has threatened the entire game. And the wind out towards Candlestick Bay at 21 out to left center. 60 degrees. It is parka weather. Jeff Treadway is 1 for 3. He has singled and driven in a run. He has 6. Ground ball right side, base hit. So Maldonado will throw it back in. Only the 6th hit for the Reds. Here's Cal Daniels, who was 0 for 3, has struck out twice. Robinson from the stretch. Might be 2. Uribe to Thompson for 1. Robbie pivots, throws to first, and they turn it. So a 6-4-3 double play, and Robinson gets out of it in 7 pitches. Lloyd McClendon is going to come in to play first base for Paul O'Neill. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-2 Reds. So Paulie's day is done. McClendon is a 6 at first. I'm assuming that's Don's kid, right? No, right? So Rio to face Mitchell, Clark, and Maldonado here in the 8th. So the Red defense, a couple of changes. Collins in right. He's a 6 with an 8 arm. And Lloyd McClendon is a 6 for the Reds. Kevin Mitchell is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Rio's pitch. Base hit left field. So Daniels will pick it up. Wide turn for Mitchell. And now I'll bring up Will Clark. He's homered in this game. He tied it up in the 6th. 1 out to dead left center. Now his 3 homers on the replay and driven in 5. Reds guard the lines. Rio from the stretch. Struck him out. Jose got him to chase a hard fastball on an 0-2. So 1 out for Candy, who was 3 for 3 today. He has singled 3 times. Rio takes a deep breath and deals. Got him. So a good afternoon to go with that good morning, and there's 2 out for Leonard, who was 0 for 3 with the strikeout. John says, yep. Now I remember I said 11:30. Yep. Twitch notifications ever work? As Sheriff Justice said on network TV, scumbum. You got the Yankees and the Jays up next. Let's see. Righty? Who can hit a righty? We'll go with Joe Youngblood, who's 1 for 10. Been with the Giants a while. Remember, Joe Youngblood was the first player ever to play on 2 different teams on 2 different cities on the same day. The second one being here in San Francisco. Pitch to Youngblood. There's a ground ball to third. Bell, Treadway for 1, but Youngblood's going to reach. As there is, well, it doesn't matter because that retires the side. And if I was paying attention, I'd have known that. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. We go to the 9th here at the stick, 3-2 Reds. So Davis, McClendon, and Collins to face Robinson, who pitched a 10-pitch inning in the 8th. Davis 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. And they want me to play with a left fielder. So it'll be Youngblood, and he's just as bad as Jeffrey Leonard, 2-1. All right, Davis is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Up the middle, a base hit. So here's McClendon, who's 0 for 1. That's Don's kid, right? Throw to first. Davis has already been thrown out once. And Nick Asaski will pinch hit, which is the right move. Asaski in his last year with the Reds, 222, a homer, and 5 RBI. I don't think he had the vertigo problems at this point that would plague him with the Red Sox. Overall, 243, 15 homers, and 62 RBI. Davis on first. Asaski sends this one into left field. Back goes Youngblood. Joel reaches up, makes the catch, and Davis has a long run back to first. So 1 out for Collins, who has walked, stolen a base, and scored. 3-2 Reds here in the 9th. There goes Davis to throw down to Uribe, and Eric has his 3rd of the campaign. So an insurance run on second as Robinson faces Dave Collins in a 1-strike count. Got him. Collins chased a fastball in an 0-2, 2 out for Buddy Bell. Yanks and Jays to follow. And Bell draws the walk. And Chris Sabo is going to pinch a run at first. So another Vermont Red. Sabo has perfect speed. He's a 10. And I meant to pick off, not pitch out. So 1-ball count to Diaz, who's 2 for 3. He has singled twice and scored. 3-2 Reds in the 9th. And that ball is long gone. Bo Diaz, a 3-run homer, and the Reds have opened this up in the 9th by the score of 6-2. Yep, those goggles, huh? And as soon as Mr. Wrestling, thank you, lets me know he's playing Baldur's Gate, here it is again. That was just an absolute no-doubter. And you could have had me on first and I would have scored. So the Reds, unless something really strange happens in the bottom of the 9th, are going to start 7-1. I doubt Reno hits here. He did go have 37 at-bats. He went 2 for 37. Leo Garcia, a household name in his own house, will pinch hit. He's 0 for 2 on the year. Ground ball to Clark. And Will walks it to the bag for the out. So that'll do it. Pat Perry will come in to try to, well, it's not a save, it's a 4-run lead. What a home run for Bo Diaz. Yeah, a 341-foot homer that only got 15 feet off the ground. That's a laser. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. The Giants need 4 to tie, 5 to win. It's 6-2 Reds. So Pat Perry making his 3rd appearance at 12. Wow. 29 years old. Fastball at 89 and a triple fly ball pitcher. Pitched on the 10th against the Astros. 2 innings and an 8-4 win. 27 pitches. 2 hits, a solo homer, and a strikeout. So overall, 3 innings, 3 hits, or earned run. The solo shot, a walk, and a strikeout. Don and Lloyd, Clendenin, by the way, are not related. But learned in Little League that Lloyd was known as Legendary Lloyd after hitting 5 consecutive home runs. Wow. Goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie. So Bob Melvin and his Blue Notes. Robbie Thompson, Jose Uribe, and a pinch hitter. Melvin is 0 for 3. Giants have out-hit the Reds 9-8, but they trail by 4. Slow ground ball. Larkin in on the grass. Throws to Asaski, 1 out. Asaski a 4 at third, or first. We'll show you this again. Sabo a 7 at third, and Asaski a 4 at first. As Mr. Rose thinks that we've kind of gone to spring training. Robbie Thompson 1 for 3. Singled and struck out. Shallow left center. Davis. And it's last chance saloon time. Jose Uribe is 2 for 3. He has singled twice. The Reds about to go to 7-1. Perry winds and fires. That is a base hit. That's a broadcaster's jinx. Davis will throw it back in the infield. For Uribe, that's his 3rd single of the day. And we're kind of beggars can't be choosers here. Chris Spire, almost ageless at this point in his career, 3 for 6 with a homer and 4 RBI. I believe he did that on Saturday. Hit .216 on the real year. Again, last chance saloon. Giants need 4 to tie, 5 to win. Into shallow center, Davis, and the Reds are 7-1. That was a pretty good ball game of the ninth. So the Reds get a big one, 2 hours and 39 fake minutes. The Reds go to 7-1. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. And they left on 3. The Giants, 2 runs, 10 hits, and an error. And they left on 7. Tom Browning, 6 1/3 innings. 8 hits. He gets the win. He goes to 2-0. 2 runs, both earned. A home run to Clark. And 4 strikeouts. And Rio and Perry slam the door. Lacoste somehow takes the loss. Although it was Robinson that gave up the home run. Who had Bo Diaz on their bingo card? Not I, Gungadin. Cost 5 hits through 7, 3 runs all earned, a walk and 5 strikeouts. And Don Robinson got torched by Bo Diaz in the ninth, who is your digital dice MVP. 3 for 4 and 3 RBI. All right, let's do the rest of the National League on this Wednesday, and then we'll set up for the Yankees and the Jays. So in St. Louis, the Cubs beat them 11-4. DePino 1-0. How you'd like that? Your first live stream and the Cubs win. Danny Cox falls to 0-1. Leon Durham 2 for 4, a homer and 4 RBI. They pound out 17 hits. Pittsburgh beats Philly 7-5. Fisher 1-0. Cubs win. Cubs win. Bruce Ruffin goes to 0-1, and Jim Gott, surgically reattached arm, gets his 3rd save. Houston and Atlanta from the Thunderdome. Houston 2-0 winners. Mike DeShays 1-0. Smith goes to 1-1. Dave Smith picks up the save. And last but not least, before the Dodgers shut out the Padres 2-0. Tim Leary. What an acid trip. Man goes to 2-0. Eric Shaw 0-1. Petey Guerrero 1 for 3 in his 2nd home run. We're going to set up for the Jays and the Yankees, and we'll be right back with the second half of our doubleheader right after this. Well, it's time for the second half of our doubleheader. This was the one I had picked out originally, and I think we got a good one. It's Dave Stieb versus Rich Dotson. The Yankees are 5-2. The Blue Jays come in 88 with a magic chip on their shoulder after what happened at the end of the 87 season. They are 4-4, but I really think that 85 wins because everyone is gunning for everybody else is going to win this division. You get a team that wins 90, I'd be stunned. I don't think the Red Sox won 90 when they won this division. So you get the speed of Ricky Henderson versus the experience of the Toronto Blue Jays. And on this rainy day in Toronto, you should get a good one here. So the Yankees and the Jays as we play the second half of our doubleheader. And so honest question for you watching live and for those of you who are watching on YouTube as Dave Stiebs takes his warm-up tosses. We don't normally do a lot of doubleheaders just because that's a lot of talking for me to do 2 hours. You want to see more? Less? How do you feel about doubleheaders? Naturally, if there's a doubleheader that particular day and I'm doing it, we do both games. But as far as kind of like the old ESPN Wednesday night, what do you think? Anyway, it is raining here in Toronto. Richard Dotson taking the mound for the Yankees. He's made one start. Dave Stieb had a bad start for otherwise what will be a fantastic year for him. It is a 54-degree night on the shores of Lake Ontario. Current amount seems right. All right. The wind is blowing out the center and some light rain.
Play ball.
Stieb is 31. Fastball at 90 and a ground ball pitcher. He'll make 31 starts overall. He went on Friday in that 13-11 slugfest for the Twins home opener. I almost did that game. We didn't. We did the next day. He went 4 innings. Brian will said live on replay to watch 1, 2, or 10 games in a row. I think I've done like 1,400 videos. I bet 2/3 of those are baseball games. Steve went 4 innings on the Twins home opener. He threw 83 pitches, and he went down to Macy's or down to Eaton's, depending on what country you're in, and got Christmas tree. 9 runs, 8 earned, 2 homers, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Overall, 16-8, a 3.07, a 3.04 ERA, 207 in the third innings, 157 hits, 15 homers, 79 walks, and 147 strikeouts. He never won a side. Here's how the Yankees will line up. Ricky Henderson in left will lead off. Willie Randolph at second will bat second. Don Mattingly at first will go third. Mike Pagliarulo cleans up at third. Claudel Washington in center, 34, will bat fifth. Dave Winfield in right, Mr. May. Seagulls are all wearing batting helmets today. He'll bat sixth. Jose Cruz is the DH. I never remembered him with the Yankees. Don Slaught, the catcher, he'll bat eighth. And Bobby Meacham at short will bat ninth. Steve, pitch count-wise, he could go all the way. For the Jays, Lloyd Mosby a 4-2 in left. Campusano remains in center. He's a 5 and a 3. Barfield a 7 and a 9 in right. Kelly Gruber an 8 at third. Tony Fernandez a 10 at short. Nelson Liriano a 3 at second. And Fred McGriff a 6 at first. He's batting 7th, by the way. Ernie Witt a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. Steve is a 7 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. And yep, not a great opener for Steve indeed, Brian. Batting practice continued after batting practice. Ricky Henderson's at 385 with an RBI and 4 stolen bases. To short, Fernandez deep in the hole. Good throw. A cannon for an arm, 1 out. And for Fernandez, that's the second great play of the year. He's not made an error yet. So here's Willie Randolph. Willie at 316, no homers and 3 RBI. Right back to Steve. 2 out. So here's Mattingly at 400. A home run and 6 RBI. There's a ground ball to Liriano. Nelson has to spear it. Throws to first. And Atwell retired the side. Yankees go in order. Half an inning in the books. No score. So Richard Dotson. Talk about bad starts. 29 years old. Over from the White Sox. Just was never healthy, I think, with the Yankees. In fact, he does make 29 starts, though, on the year. Fastball at 87. And a fly ball pitcher. Yeah, Brian Fernandez was a pretty solid shortstop. Against the Brewers 5 days ago, 5 innings and a 9-8 loss. Again, Christmas tree, 113 pitches, 11 hits, 8 runs, all earned. You know this is going to be like a 2-0 game, right? 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. And an earned run average of 1440 on your AM dial. Yeah. Jays lineup, Nelson Liriano leads off at second base. Lloyd Mosby in left will bat second. Tony Fernandez, again, I don't know why Jimmy Williams is batting him third, but he is at short. George Bell, the DH, cleans up. Ernie Witt behind the plate bats fifth. Jesse Barfield, who the Yankees are scouting, is in right field. He'll bat sixth. The crime dog, Fred McGriff, will bat seventh at first base. Kelly Gruber at third will bat eighth, and Sil Campusano is ninth as a center fielder. Dotson theoretically could pitch 7. Theoretically. Yeah, scoreless in the 6th for sure. Ricky Henderson is 6 and a 4 and left as we set the Yankee defense for you. Clarnell Washington is a 5 and a 4. I'm not bunting, by the way. Dave Winfield is a 7 and a 7 at in right. Pagliarulo is at third. Bobby Meacham a 3 at short. Willie Randolph a 7 at second. Mattingly a 10 at first. Don Slaughter a 4 and a 3 behind the plate. And Dotson is a 7 with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Liriano 182, a home run and 6 RBI. Jays are 4 and 4. Yanks are 5 and 2. Game number 8 for both teams, or game number 8 for the Yankees. Number 9 for the Jays. Pags is a 5 at third. Fly ball right field. Winfield 1 out. Mosby at 368. He had a home run in that Twins game that we did. His 2 solo shots because he has 2 RBI. Popped up. Right side. Mattingly. 1 out for Tony Fernandez, who's at 200, a triple and 5 RBI. Fly ball, right field, Winfield. And that will retire the side out again. Quick inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the second, no score. So Pagliarulo, Washington, and Winfield. Pags a slow start, hitting 115 with 3 RBI. In 26 at-bats, he has struck out 10 times. Draws the walk. First base runner for anybody. Pags can steal? Really? There's Claudell Washington. He's 3 for 12, 250 and 2 RBI. He goes. Hit and run was on. Gruber's got it. No throw to second. To McGriff it goes, and Washington's retired. So they hit and run, and Pagliarulo goes to second. Now here's Winfield, 7 for 24. 2 homers and 5 RBI. 1 out here in the second inning. Got him. He chased one. 2 out for Jose Cruz. All right. Show of hands. How many people really remember Cruz with the Yankees? He had 80 at-bats. 2 for 11 so far. 182 and 4 RBI. Pagliarulo on second. Steve from the stretch. To short. Fernandez has it. Over to McGriff for the out, and Yeah, I just remember him from the Astros, too. Of course, his kid played for the Blue Jays. No, and the Mariners. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Yankees leave on a runner. And after an inning and a half, no score. So George Bell at 294, a home run, and 5 RBI. Witt and Barfield to follow. Looks like the Yankees and Cruz would like to forget he played there. You see these things every once in a while, like, what is that player doing in that uniform? I think along with Richard Dotson, it was a 5 ERA for the Yankees. Like, nope, that's not how I want to remember those players. Pitch to Bell. George sends this one deep into left field. Back goes Henderson, and Ricky will track it down, 1 out. Ernie Witt hit that solo home run against the Twins on Saturday. 3 for 18 overall, 167. Up the middle, Randolph behind the bag, over to Mattingly for the out. 2 away for Jesse Barfield, hitting .313, 2 homers, and 4 RBI. Fly ball left field. Back goes Henderson, way back, and it's 1-0 Toronto. Barfield hits his 3rd of the year, and the Jays strike first, 1-0. So he's now driven in 5. And he just caught way too much of the inside of the plate, and Barfield just crushed it. Henderson thought he had a play on it, and it just kept going. So on this cold, rainy night here in Toronto, the Jays take a 1-0 lead. Here's McGriff. Fred at 464. Again, don't you love April baseball? 2 homers and 5 RBI. Dotson deals into right field. Winfield to the track, and that's gone. So the Jays go back-to-back with jacks, and it's 2-0 Toronto. Didn't go by much. That bounces in the Argos end zone for a rouge. We've now reached the portion of the game when things get right. Yep. So Dotson, who gave up 27 in real life, has given up his first 2 of the replay. Now Gruber's looking out towards center field for his at-bat. And the CFL has told the Argos they cannot cash that in. Gruber 4 for 11, 364 and 3 RBI. Dotson is trying to find his footing out here. Ground ball to Mattingly, and Don will take it for the 3rd out. But a big inning for the Jays. 2 solo homers, 1 from Jesse Barfield and 1 from Fred McGriff, and we go to the 3rd, 2-0 Toronto. So slot Meacham and Henderson to face Steve here in the 3rd. Dawn at 143, 2 for 14. Into left, well hit. Mosby, 1 out. Bobby Meacham is 2 for 8. Only had 115 at-bats. Hitting .250 with an RBI. Remember, if you haven't caught any of our 88 streams so far, or videos, Rafael Santana is the new man at short for the Yankees. Struck him out. That's 2 for Steve. Meacham swung on and missed. I want to. Be able to read what's going on. Ricky Anderson's 0 for 2. Or 0 for 1, rather. Steve opening 9, 34 pitches, 2 2/3, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Henderson Chops this one down to third. Gruber's going to have to hurry. McGriff is on the bag. And a good throw by Kelly. Get him out. Got him out. So that'll do it. The Yankees go in order again after 2.5, 2-0 Toronto. So Campusano, then the top of the lineup, Liriano and Mosby to face Dotson here in the third. Sill at 136 and 2 RBI. Dotson deals. Struck him out. First for Richard. An 0-2 fastball got him looking. So the good news for Dotson is his opening 9 was on 23 pitches. That's the good news. 2 1/3, 2 hits, 2 solo homers, and a strikeout. Liriano's 0 for 1. Still not bunting. Ground ball to Pags. Over to Mattingly. 2 out. Back with you Monday for more baseball. I forgot who I chose. Excuse me. Lloyd Mosby is 0 for 1. Taping the show, by the way, tomorrow. Is there a team or a season that you get bored with? Let us know. Mosby again, second verse to to third, same as the first, and it's just as messed up the second time it comes out of my mouth. You see, I got that new tongue yesterday, and we're having a hard time getting that to work. Here's Willie Randolph. He's 0 for 1. And Willie draws the walk. Yeah. At least I can say that. Randolph, a good chance to steal. Mattingly 0 for 1. As we start the fourth. The Yankees don't have a hit yet. Rulo. Don is 0 for 1. Steve would like a ground ball. There goes Randolph. The throw down to Fernandez. And Willie has it. He has his first steal of the year. So runner on second for the Yankees. Nobody out for Mattingly and a 1-ball count. To short, that would have been 2. Fernandez throws to McGriff for the out. The thing with Fernandez is he was part of that first generation of players to have come from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. And he was a very good shortstop in his day, but he was kind of overshadowed by the coming of the power hitters. Cal Ripken for starters, and eventually Derek Jeter, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Alex Rodriguez. And so a lot of what Fernandez did kind of got lost in the wash. Pags walked his first time up. Struck him out. That's 3 for Steve. A 1-2 fastball got him looking. So here's Washington, who's 0 for 1. Randolph leading. Ground ball to Fernandez. Tony has it over to McGriff. And Dave Steve is cruising. Just watch out for the bottom or the top of the ninth. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3.5 down. 2-0 Jays. Omar Vizquel kind of works for that too, you're right. So the National League stats are currently, as of today, we played all that. Maybe the standings weren't updated because we went right to another game. McGriff came into this one leading the AL in hitting. Fernandez, by the way, 0 for 1. To Meacham. Had to come in for it. 1 out. Yeah. No, it's an error. Fernandez is going to reach as Meacham's throw was bad. Now, does Fernandez go to second? Yep, that's in the dugout. And Tony's on second. Nobody out for George Bell, who's 0 for 1. Yep. The All Glove and no-hit shortstop start being a thing. So the Louis Aparicios and Mark Belangers kind of became out of vogue. You know, the Bucky Dent could kind of hit. Rick Burleson could kind of hit. But again, Gary Templeton and Ozzie Smith probably being the last of that generation, although Smith wasn't a terrible hitter. Did you know? I subscribe to a number of historical broadcasting things on Facebook. There was a movie done about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders in the late 70s. Because really, boobs and butts, you couldn't show bare ones, of course, on television. But, you know, you could excite people without exciting people, if you know what I mean with that. You know who was a guest star in that movie on the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders? Bucky Dent. George Bell's 0 for 1. Now, Ripken wasn't a bad in the field, and neither was Jeter. I mean, Jeter wasn't all that in a bag of chips. A-Rod wasn't a terrible shortstop. Nomar was a pretty good shortstop. That was a thing, when they could start to hit. And again, Fernandez kind of in that in-between generation. There's a fly ball center field. Claudel Washington will make the catch, and Tony goes back to second. Is he going to run? No. And, of course, Bucky Dent doing guest shots in TV movies to show flesh is not something that you'd hear an awful lot in a Fortnite stream. Just go to your phone for that. Ernie Witt is 0 for 1. 1 out. 2-0 Jays, bottom of the fourth. Draws the walk. So first and second, 1 out for Barfield, who uncorked one his first time up. In the second. That's in the left. That should stay in the yard. Henderson is there. Has it for the out. Fernandez goes back to tag. He's going to go to third. The throw is cut off. And the Jays have runners on the corners for McGriff. And 2 out. Brian says steady is a great description of their fielding skills. Again, I think the Jeter hate is a bit much. He wasn't horrible on the field. But they were steady. They weren't going to cost you games. McGriff homered his first time up. Left field. That's shallow. And that's an out. So the Blue Jays strand 2. No runs, no hits, and the error does not hurt. After 4, it's 2-0 Toronto. The rest of you guys are quiet today. Here's Winfield. Dave struck out his first time up. Winfield, Cruz, and Slot to face Steve here in the 5th. Winfield down the line and right. Barfield makes the catch, 1 out. So here's Jose Cruz, who is 0 for 1. See what the computer goes to make the move here. Won't be this time. Ground ball to first. McGriff has it. Takes it to the bag himself for the out. 2 away. For Don Slot, who's 0 for 1. Steve is cruising right along. To third, Gruber. Over to McGriff and halfway home. The graphic will tell you what's going on. It's the Blue Jays 2, the Yankees nothing, and you see what's going on. We'll be back. It joined us late, second half of a doubleheader. The Reds beat the Giants 6-2 in the opener. And here in Toronto, it's 2-0 Jays. Halfway home, Jesse Barfield, a solo blast to make it 1-0. And Fred McGriff, the next pitch, made it 2-0 in the second. So Richard Dotson, a 2-hitter through 4. 2 solo homers, a walk and a strikeout. Dave Stieb, 5 innings, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And if you are a viewer of this channel on a regular basis, then I don't need to explain Dave Steve and his spider luck that he has in these situations. Or snake-bitten luck, that's the word I want to use. The hate Brian says for Jeter, in his opinion, was because he was a pretty good all-around player. Yep, not going to disagree with that. He always seemed to come up with the big plays and hits. Yep. He played with the Yankees. Yep. And they both won a lot of games. One because of the other. Yep. No, I agree with all that. Again, I don't think he was... he was captain of the Yankees, too. And that, honestly, I don't think it means as much in baseball as it does in other sports. But he just had that bullseye on his back and wore it with pride. By the way, the rain has stopped here. 47 degrees. It's a chilly night. The wind's blowing out to left at 3. Gruber is 0 for 1 as we start the 5th to 3rd. Pagliarulo, see, I said it right this time. Over to Mattingly, 1 out. Maybe? Yes. Yeah, and John says, I think number 1, he was a Yankee. Grew up in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Campusano, by the way, struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Ground ball to Randolph. Willie's got it. Throws to first. 2 away. So 2 out for Nelson Liriano. Dotson's opening 18. 51 pitches. 4 2/3 for Dotson. Both the hits, the solo homers to Barfield and McGriff. A walk and a strikeout. And Tom Brady says to Derek Jeter, hold my beer. I found it interesting yesterday. Still a Philly great. Apparently John's been hitting the Yingling awful early today. Found it interesting that this got released in public, that Bill Belichick interviewed for the job in Atlanta. Liriano, by the way, is 0 for 2. Base hit right center. Washington will cut it off. Liriano digging for 2. He's in there. So his first double of the year. 2 outs, only the 3rd hit for the Jays. Here's Mosby. He's 0 for 2. I think anyone who is in a position where they are the leader of a team that is A, good, and B, in some circles, overexposed, depending on whether you are a set of fan team or not, will get that. Mahomes in Kansas City, I think, has that honor. Ground ball to Meacham. Bobby throws to first, and Lloyd is retired. And so after 5, no runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the 6th, 2-0 Toronto. Would it be considered early if you never went to bed? You driving tonight, buddy? Bobby Meacham, by the way, is a strikeout. He's 0 for 1. To 2nd, Liriano, 1 out. Here's Ricky Henderson. He's 0 for 2. Steve, 65 pitches, 5 1/3, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. You love your sleep. But does your wife? No dog in the fight, but curious if I think Belichick is truly a good coach. You know, you don't win as much as he did without being a good coach. However, the fact that Brady went on to win a Super Bowl in Tampa while Belichick probably was in New England 2 years too long says a lot. I don't know. I think he's one of the great defensive minds of all time. I mean, he certainly got the Giants to 2 Super Bowls with that. I think he revolutionized the game. I might give you a different answer in a year. Yeah, he's a good coach. He took the Browns to the playoffs. But if it wasn't for Brian Cox breaking Drew Bledsoe's rib The second week of the 2001 season, who knows when Brady would have played? Remember, Bledsoe got Wally pipped, to be honest. Henderson, by the way, 0 for 2. And the other part of that equation is when Brady got hurt in the AFC Championship that year, it was Bledsoe that got him to the Super Bowl. So it's hard to tell. You don't stay someplace 24 years without being something. I guess my fair answer, Brian, would be I think, yeah, he's a great coach, but a lousy GM. Pitch to Henderson. Drops one down. Witt throws to Liriano, and there's some dirty looks because Henderson's going to reach on the air. Liriano couldn't get a glove on it. McGriff had to back it up. As Witt threw it away, Henderson's on to second. And with the Yankees having a bagel in a certain column, that is a dirty pool play, and Henderson's hearing about it. It surprised Witt so much, he just threw it right away. Hit the dirt. And with Henderson's speed, that was a sure double. Or two-base error. So Willie Randolph is walked. He's 0 for 1. 1 out, 2-0 Jays, top of the 6th. Ground ball to third. Gruber looks Henderson back, throws to first for the out. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think. Here's Mattingly. He is 0 for 2. Henderson bluffs the ground ball to third, short. Fernandez, one of those positions, throws it to McGriff for the out. And so the Yankees are doing that after 5.5, 2-0 Toronto. So Tony Fernandez is 0 for 2. Bell and Witt to follow. Dotson is doing more than holding his own on this one. Just a bad inning, and that's it. Left field, he goes the opposite way. Ricky's there. 1 out. George Bell is 0 for 2. I would think, just to keep going with the Belichick thing, that he will take a job, I think, for a year or two. To a team I think is Super Bowl ready. I'm not sure that's Atlanta. Then again, all you got to do is get in. I kind of wondered, and I doubt that John might be able to answer this better for me. Here's George Bell, 0 for 2. That considering just how much the Eagles collapsed on my birthday, they were a 10-win team, November 26th, and then they finished with 11. And got slaughtered in Tampa. That's a Super Bowl team. Belichick for a year could get that team back and win the Super Bowl, I would think. I think if he does go someplace else, Brian says I think he'll end up a head coach somewhere. But if the thing was don't go great wherever he lands, that'll probably be it. Yeah, I think it's a 1 or 2 year thing. John says, well, he did draft Brady. That's true. So did the Montreal Expos. And he also never gave the job back to Bledsoe. Brady had a great rookie or second-year campaign. Why would you have given it back to Bledsoe? Bell is 0 for 2. Into center field. Washington, 1 out. I can't imagine that Belichick would want to be a defensive coordinator right now. Ernie Witt is 0 for 1 with a walk. The Patriots this year had a middle-of-the-line defense. They were 15th in scoring. Two outs here in the 6th. Witt popped him up. Right side. Randolph has it for the out, and that'll do it. We go to the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Sportsline 1-800 no way. Give me a call there. After 6, 2-0 Toronto. So Pagliarulo 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout. Steve was walked 2 through 6 and struck out 3. So Liriano has to come in for it. Throws to first. Pags is out. So Washington is 0 for 2. Struck him out. That's 4 for Steve. Got him on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's Winfield. Dave is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Got him. Stretch time. 2-0 Jays. John says as the Yankees call the Toronto Zoo to find out if they can get some snakes over. Did I not hit the button? What did I hit? I thought I hit that. Well, there we go. That Belichick also took a mediocre Browns team. That's true for Bud Carson. Took a chance on Testaverde, gone to 11 wins. Vinny couldn't stay healthy. No, you're absolutely right. So what's your, is there any pressure in Philadelphia after what happened this year? Because to me, the Dallas thing never made any sense. I just don't think Jerry and Belichick would mesh well together. Obviously, he's not going to take the job in San Francisco. Baltimore isn't going to be open. Andy Reid, of course, now has a lifer job in Kansas City. I don't know where he would go. I mean, he's not going to try to do a rebuild job. Again, he's 71. He's not doing this for 5 more years. Barfield, by the way, 1 for 2. A solo homer. That came in the second. 2-0 Jays. Bottom of the 7th, and Barfield strikes out. 2 for Dotson. Gardner's here just for the extra innings. First game only went 9. McGriff 1 for 2. He homered to right field in the second. Line drive to Randolph. We've heard the Yankees have found some snakes, and they're trying to get him in from Buffalo across the border in time for the 8th and 9th innings here. Here's Kelly Gruber. He's 0 for 2. If you take a couple away swings, it's played out just as we thought it would. Yep, 2 pitchers with 10 ERAs throwing a pitcher's duel. April baseball. Pitch to Gruber. Ground ball to Randolph, and Willie can't make a play on it. That's an error, and Gruber's on. So the Yankees have made 2 errors, and the Blue Jays have made 1. Campusano was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Do you know, without Googling it, who has the highest winning percentage as a coach in the NFL that has 100 wins or more? So not someone who stepped in for 3 games or whatever. Don't Google it. You should know it. And Gruber's back to first. Pitch to Campusano. Slow ground ball to third. Pagliarulo across the way, and I think he's going to beat it out. Going to be close. He does beat it out. That's an infield hit. That is an AstroTurf hit all the way. It just bounces too hard, and of course the ground is cold here. It's 41 degrees. So it took a true hop, and Campusano beat it out. So Dotson, 27 batters, 84 pitches. He's done really well. 6 2/3, 4 hits, the 2 solo shots, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Liriano's 1 for 3 with a double. Blue Jays actually need an insurance run. 2 on, 2 out, right field, Winfield. And that'll do it. We go to the 8th. No runs, a hit, and an error does not hurt. It's Toronto 2, New York nothing. So Cruz Slot and Meacham. No, it's not anyone who coached the Bears. You're right. Although Dick did pretty well. I think Belichick is 9th all-time in winning percentage, which is pretty good. Cruz is 0 for 2 as we start the 8th. Gardner thinks that all stadiums should be AstroTurf. Not his knees. Into right center. Campusano going back. Way back. 1 out. Oh, Jose nearly took him all the way. So here's Slot. Don is 0 for 2. Steve is cruising to first. McGriff. 2 out. Here's Bobby Meacham, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. On a 41-degree night, the Blue Jay bench is starting to sweat. Here's the pitch. There it goes. There goes the no-hitter. So Meacham is on with a single, and it's Barfield is on. Nope. Now, Landry had some bad teams to start. So, win-wise, Belichick has them both beaten. Noel's winning percentage, all things considered, wasn't super. And the key is 100 wins or more. So the no-hitter goes with 2 outs in the 8th. That was tough. I've never streamed one. Here's Ricky Henderson. He's 0 for 3. Steve, 27 batters, 7 2/3, 91 pitches. A hit, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Meacham. Well, that's another base hit, so nothing cheapy about that. The tying run is now on is Ricky Henderson. And Meacham will try for third. Campusano uncorks one, and runners on the corners and 2 out for Willie Randolph. Tom Henke probably would come in, although he didn't do well when it came in there. It is often a hitter like Meacham, someone you never would think of that would kill a late no-hitter. And since Dave's here and we kind of danced around the no-hitter thing, twice in this era, I think in the same season, Dave Steve took a no-hitter into the 9th with 2 out. And they were both broken up. He did get a no-hitter late in his career. But if this doesn't tell, this is just such a typical Steve start. Runners on the corners. Randolph strikes out. So at least he's got the shutout. No runs, 2 hits. The Yankees have left on 5. Bottom 8, 2-0 Toronto. How about Richard Dotson? Pitching 7 strong here. Mosby is 0 for 3. One more guess on the coach. Popped up. Meacham. Rainmaker, 1 out. Here's Fernandez, who's 0 for 3. Ground ball to third. Pagliarulo over to Mattingly. 2 out. It'll be Mattingly, Pags, and Washington in the 9th. Here's George Bell, 0 for 3. I wasn't kidding. I think the Blue Jays need another run. Popped up. Well, they're only going to get 2. Meacham. For the out. We go to the 9th. Yankees 2 to tie, 3 to go ahead. So Mattingly, Pagliarulo, or Washington. We'll finish the thought on the Eagles. John says regarding Philly, it was a quagmire of confusion. Giggity, giggity goo. Everything that could go wrong did. Injuries, bad coaching, bad play calling, and complacency. So, would you make that move? Would you bring in Belichick? Because that's a Super Bowl team. The answer to the question is John Madden has the highest winning percentage of any coach with 100 wins. Ground ball to first. McGriff's got it. 1 out. So Steve looking for the shutout. And you know it's April when you throw a shutout and it's lowering your ERA to 5.84. Here's Pagliarulo, 0 for 2. Back-to-back starts in 88. This game is just so true to life. And he got one eventually, right? Yeah, Steve lost them both back-to-back in 88. 2 outs in the 9th. And you rooted for pitchers like Dave Steve, too. Struck him out. So we're down to the last out. Last chance saloon. A 2-hitter for Steve, who understandably, if he can retire Claudell Washington or a reasonable facsimile of a batter, will be our Digital Dice MVP. Claudell is struck out. He is 0 for 3. Oh, wow. It was 1990 when he finally threw the no-hitter. In 1989, he had a perfect game he lost after 26 outs. Oh, man. Steve winds and fires. Base hit right field. So on the 26th out, he gives up a hit. John says, regarding the near no-no, as you may know, I remember, you posted about Don Gullett's perfecto on your 74 replay. You did. Over morning coffee, he versus the Braves and Fergie versus the Angels took no-nos in the 9th before being broken up. The last time we got this close was 3 years ago. Whatever year I did 49, Fred Sanford taking one in the 9th in a World Series clincher. So here are the guys who broke up Dave Steve's no-hitters in the 9th. Yeah, you're right. That is a Bobby Meacham list here of hitters. Rudy Law, Julio Franco, who was a pretty good hitter, Jim Traber, not even a household name in his own house, and Roberto Kelly. So 2 out, tying run at the plate in Winfield, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Struck him out, and the ball game is over. So a 3-hit shutout, and the Blue Jays go to 5-4. 2 hours and 14 minutes. The Blue Jays, 2 runs, 4 hits, an error. The Yankees, then leave on 5. Read them in the right order, Ron. The Yankees, no runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors, and they left on 6. And the only 2 runs of the ball game are McGriff and Barfield. Eagles front office would never give control to a coach again after Chip Kelly. That makes sense. They would never hire Belichick. So the MVP is Dave Stieb. 9 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. And Richard Dotson goes the distance. 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 pitches that flew far away, a walk and 2 strikeouts. So his ERA dips to 6.92. So great stuff from both pitchers. But it is the Blue Jays that come out on top. And so there's the National League standings. Let's do the American League real quick. Well, we'll be with you live Monday. Thank you so much. Here's the rest of the American League. Nice job by Richard Dawson. Survey says, bah. Did I kiss everyone? Just you, Gardner. Just you. Milwaukee beat the Red Sox 10-7. Mark Clear gets the win. He walked 19,000. Mike Smithson takes the loss. 0-1. Robin Yount, 4 for 5, a homer, and drove in 3. Cleveland beat Minnesota 3-1. Scotty Bales 2-0. Burt by 11, 0-1. Doug Jones gets his 3rd save. The Royals shut out the Orioles 6-0. Quisenberry 1-0. Mark Thurman 0-1. George Brett 2 for 4 and 2 doubles. Todd Benzinger, by the way, had 4 hits in that Red Sox loss. Oakland beat Seattle 12-4. Onaveros 1-0. Campbell 0-2. Canseco, his first of the year, 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. And last but not least, the White Sox beat the Angels 5-3. Davis 1-0. Donnie Moore 0-1. That's always makes me shudder when I see his name with the Angels. And Bobby Thigpen picked up his second save. So that's the doubleheader for you. When we are with you on Monday, we're with you from Shea Stadium in New York for the Mets and the Cardinals. We're taping the show tomorrow. Hope you have a great weekend, everybody. So thank you so much for hanging with me for an hour 50. So long.